What's up, guys? In today's quick video, I figured I would start also uploading the podcasts that were on Spotify and Apple Podcasts and all that good stuff specifically to the YouTube channel as well. For those of you that like the video format more than the audio format, of course, I'm always trying to just do what you guys want, what the analytics show and all of that at the end of the day that you guys love the most. So for those of you on YouTube, I don't want you to miss out on the content that is on, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all the podcasting platforms. So if you like the YouTube content specifically, don't worry, you can stick with YouTube as well, because we're going to be uploading them on YouTube as well as all of those podcasting formats. And as for today's episode on inputs versus outputs, I think you guys will get a lot of information from today's podcast. So let's get right to it. What is up, guys? In today's podcast episode, we're going to be talking about inputs versus outputs today. It's a topic that a lot of people don't even really think about. We think a lot of times about, what do I need to do? Just tell me what I need to do, how much I need to do, how long do you think that it's going to take for me to achieve X, and let me just get to work. And it's really not that simple. A lot of you are going to massively underestimate just how much will need to be done in every phase of your business to get to where you want your business to be. And how do I know this? Because as most of you all know, I am in this right now. Everything that I do, it ends up taking at least 3 to 10 times as much effort, time, money, all of that good stuff that I originally thought that it was going to take. For example, I think that making 10 calls a day is enough whenever we should be doing 100, hence why we're hiring out a call center. Another thing is, for example, for those of you that are door knockers in the pest control industry specifically, you may think that knocking on 50 doors a day may be enough, but in reality, you should be trying to knock on 500 doors if humanly possible. And we could go on and on, how much advertising dollars, how much ad spend in general that we're gonna need, how much our cost per acquisition is gonna be. A lot of people think when it comes to that, it cracks me up. They think they should only be paying $5 to $20 per customer, when in reality, especially early on, when you have no idea what you're doing with ads, you're gonna be spending probably upwards of $100 to even $300 per customer acquisition. There's lots of growing pains out here. And of course, whenever you have a lot of money backing you in your business, it's gonna take out a lot of those growing pains. But a lot of you guys are in the same position as I'm in when starting our pest control business, where we're not taking a bunch of outside money. Therefore, we have to do the work, and the work is gonna require growing pains. It's gonna require a lot of time. It's gonna require a lot of energy. So, whatever you think that it's going to take, just factor in 3 to 10x everything. That could be anything. It can be, like we said, money. It can be text messages, phone calls, door knocks, emails, whatever the case may be. Anything that you think you're gonna have to do for your business, just 3 to 10x it, and I guarantee you guys will be so much happier. Obviously, it's going to be a lot more work, but hey, did anyone say it was going to be easy at the end of the day? If so, they're completely lying to you, like I always talk about on the channel if you're watching on YouTube, or on the podcast if you're listening on our podcast formats as well. But that's pretty much it for today's video and podcast. Like I said, inputs versus outputs is a very important topic that a lot of people, they either just kind of brush it under the rug. They kind of make it, either some people will just completely, like I said a second ago, push it under the rug, or they'll just completely overdo it. I'm not saying that you need to be making 500 calls a day, 1,000 calls a day, whatever the case may be. Of course, if you have a sales team, then of course you can be making more calls per day. But if you're an individual, do I expect you to make 200 calls a day, knock on 500 doors a day, all this crazy stuff? Absolutely not. But the whole point is you need to maximize your inputs. Every single minute of your day needs to be structured. We could go into a whole different video and podcast about structuring your day to maximize your inputs that you're putting into your business. But at the end of the day, just remember that this is a process. And if you're starting out as a solo operator in the pest control industry specifically, like I know a lot of you all are that listen to my content or watch on YouTube, then you just have to make sure you're structuring your day to maximize it. Because if you maximize your inputs, guess what's going to happen? It's a cause and effect world at the end of the day in business. You put in a lot of input, you're going to get a lot on the output side. Now, of course, you can't just be putting in a bunch of BS. You want to make sure that you're doing the right things, you're putting in the right work and all of that. That's more of the strategic side, which, like I said, we can get into that in another episode for you guys. But I just wanted to bring to your attention that if you're struggling getting started in your business, regardless if it's the pest control business for a lot of you who I know listen and watch my content, or if you're starting any type of business whatsoever, instead of trying to find all these little hacks, maybe you just need to look in the mirror and look at, hey, am I actually doing what it takes to grow my business? Or am I just simply getting analysis of paralysis, figuring out, oh, if I just do this, if I just do that, if I just this, if that. Why don't you just go and try shit, see what works, see what doesn't work? I guarantee you at the end of the day, even if you do put in some of the wrong inputs, you're still going to get better outputs than the guy who just sits around and goes, if then, if then, if then. I mean, by starting your business, you're already ahead of most of the if then people, because a lot of people just sit around going, man, if I just did this, then this would happen. And you made that leap, you made that jump to start your business. Now just go in there, don't get analysis of paralysis, put in a bunch of inputs, and eventually over time you'll get more and more outputs, and it'll just keep snowballing into a massive snowball of positivity, which obviously is going to be growth, money, etc. for your business. And if not, then like we said, there's more strategic that has to go into it, and we can get into that in another episode for you guys. So hopefully you did enjoy today's episode if you're watching on YouTube, or episode if you're listening to the podcast on whatever platform it may be. If you enjoyed today's episode, do me a favor, like the podcast or like the video if you're watching on YouTube. I greatly appreciate you guys tuning in as always. And if you have any ideas or questions that you want me to do future videos or podcasts over, let me know as always in our Discord group, Facebook group, all that's in our LinkTree, in the show notes and in the description box on YouTube. And I will see you guys in the next one. So yeah, guys, it's pretty straightforward, just like that. As you can tell, when it comes to doing the podcast, when it comes to doing the video like this, it was very difficult. I'm not gonna lie. You'll probably see a bunch of edits where there's clip, where you can tell we're kind of, doing those edits, editing out the BS right out of the video. There was a lot of times where I actually had to pause. There were a lot of ums. I was trying to balance, my quote unquote script. And when I say script, it's not even scripted out. I have like some bullet points essentially. Sometimes when I'm doing really short ones, I'll have a script that I'm just reading off of. But for the most part, it's just simply having some bullet points that I really want to hit on. And then from there, just kind of freestyling it. But I'll tell you what, when it came to doing the video, it was very hard to kind of, maintain what I was talking about while also trying to make some eye contact with the camera lens, of course. So hopefully, like I said, you guys did enjoy this video if you're watching on YouTube. Let me know in the comments if you guys like doing this, like me doing this, because I know some of you have YouTube Premium, and if you're like me, a lot of times you'll treat YouTube Premium almost like Spotify, where you'll just listen to the videos like a podcast essentially. If you guys like it, give it a thumbs up, or let me know in the comments, that yeah, we love this, or whatever the case may be. And of course, like I said, if you guys have any topic ideas or questions or anything like that, let me know in the comments down below. I appreciate you guys. If you're new to me, by the way, wondering who the heck is this dude, my name is Griffin Thomas. Of course, I'm the owner of the company Preferred Pest Management, and on this channel we just talk about my overall entrepreneurial journey, things that work for me, things that don't work for me. I'm always learning. I by no means have it all figured out. If I had it all figured out, I would have a much nicer setup going on than what I got going on here. But we're just all about networking together, figuring out this whole entrepreneurial game, and specifically right now in our season, the pest control industry specifically. So if any of this interests you, subscribe, hit the bell icon, all that good stuff. We have some free groups that you can join as well. I don't sell you guys any, mastermind crazy groups or courses or anything like that. So if you want to join those, like I said, link for that is in my link tree, which will be down in the description box, and I will see you guys in the next one.